And then just run Prani, since we're going to be teaching. I got to figure out what the save state button is. Hang on one second. Save state is L and load is P. So I'll talk you through the first stage. Don't do the Jedi shit. Just beat the first stage. Like, at some point, if you want to go for like world record Jedi strats, watch the Yellsrake tutorial. But for you know, you don't need to save that particular 1 second or whatever it is right in the beginning. It's a lot of effort for a little bit of a reward. And if you're not going for the world record, don't even bother. Keep the marble on screen the whole time. Finish in like a 7-second, 7.5-second range every time. That way you keep the runs alive. I should actually pull up the any percent splits just so I don't ruin anything here. Let me save these first. So yeah, I have not run this since I hit the sub 3. Like the last run that I did on this set of splits was the 259. So, but yeah, stage 1, just get through it. Don't go for any crazy shit. I know it's hard sometimes because you're like, oh, but I can do it, and sometimes you can, but it's not worth the trade-off. It's, as what we'd say in poker, it's a negative EV. It's too much effort for too little reward. And I'm going to say, going into stage 2, I don't want to like do pauses and save states and stuff because it's going to throw everything off. When I get to the drawbridge, there's an audio cue that I use for when it's going to go down. If you get down there quick enough, you have to wait for it anyway. And the music goes, you know, do 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 do. The second time it does that, on the third do do do, that's when the drawbridge is going to come down. It's like 1/10 of a second after that. So if you time it right, you can use the audio cue to just blow by. And I will try to show that. I think Yellsrake uses the timer. I use the audio cue. And I'll try to show that off, and then we'll save state and start working on some other shit. But basically, just get through this. Don't even try to do the crazy shit. It's tempting, but it's not worth it. Keep the marble on screen, just in case. That was like 7.5 seconds, and that's fine. That's all you need to do. So listen for the audio cue, or listen to the music as I get down to the drawbridge. Like that. That third do-do-do on the second like run of the chorus or whatever, that's when it goes down. It's consistent every time as long as you don't pause or do anything. If you pause, the music keeps playing in the background even though you can't hear it. But yeah, if you can even go a little bit slower to get there. You have to wait for the drawbridge at this point regardless. So if you bonk a wall or you bonk a marble muncher, it's not a huge deal. Just listen for that musical cue and try to time it as good as you can. Sometimes you'll bonk if you time it a little bit early, but that drawbridge music cue is always consistent. Hey JD, how's your Friday going? We're doing some tutorials and stuff, so that's why essentially. We PB'd on the long way percent by like 6 seconds, so it's been a good day so far regardless. But we're gonna do the next part in a second here. I forgot which one was save and which one was load. Let me see. All right, save is L. Or is that I? Save is I, not L. And then load is P. All right. So when you get down here, there's a little like bumpity part you have to go down. And this is another part where it's like learning the inputs is going to help. Because if you look at it and you're like, all right, let me just try and turn here and do that, it's not going to work. Learn the inputs and it'll work every time. So you hold down, left, down, right. Just like that. And I'll do it again because that was kind of fast. But like if you watch the inputs, the input display will show you. It'll show you the way. Hold A the whole time too. Down, left, down, right. And you might have to wiggle a little bit when you get onto this ramp. Because if you're too early, see if I can show off being too early. If you're too early, that happens. And if you're too late, that happens. It's a tight window, but it's the same inputs every time. And that was a pretty cool wand, actually. Hey, Sprinting Legs, thanks for coming in. Happy Friday. I definitely agree with that sentiment. And I mean, I want to change the skin at some point to actually be my controller. Let me show that off here. The purple with the blue and the gray and my name on it down there. This is the controller that I use for everything. It's like a CSS file that you can do to change colors and change the shit, and I am not good at CSS at all, so I have not bothered with that yet. But yeah, input display is really nice. I really like this layout up there. Anyway, let's try again. So down left, down right. You can miss a little bit either way and be fine as long as you know how to recover it. So hold A, down left, down right. That was too early. If you die here and you get stuck, you can just like restart where you were. So just like down left, down right. So down left. If you don't hit left fast enough, that happens. There's a lot of ways to screw this up, honestly. Knowing how to screw it up, or knowing what to do if you screw it up is kind of important. So this is definitely a spot worth practicing, because I lose a lot of runs here. Not that they're particularly good runs, because it's only level 2 at that point, but that's a huge reset point for me, and it kind of sucks. The long way route is nice, because it just skips past it. But let's see. Down left, down right. Like that. Because a lot of people think this game is like reaction times and reflexes and stuff. It's not. It's 100% knowing the inputs and knowing the muscle memory behind them. Because everything will be relatively consistent if you do it the same way every time, even enemy spawns and things like that, and pistons and whatever. So we'll get to that in a little bit, though. So down left. You hit left too soon, that happens. Down left, down right. That was late. Left, down right, like that. Whee! Does that make sense, Franzo? Down left. Oh, damn. That was a little early. Down left, down right. Everybody's favorite, the ice bridge. There are many, many, many ways to get through the ice bridge. When I get to this point in a run, you'll hear me say down left, because that's what you do. So watch the inputs. Hold down, load. Don't do what I just said. I confused myself. All right, so hear me say left down, and I'll audibly say it so that I do it at the same time every time. Just kill the splits, doesn't matter. So when you come down here, hold A and left, and you'll hear me say left down, right? So you go left down, like that. That was a little bit off. You don't want to do it that way. If you do it right, it's very consistent. You go left down, just like that. If you're a little bit early, like if you go left down, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's better to be early than late on this particular thing. So you just go left down. You have a little bit of wiggle room to do that. And I use it's like a mnemonic almost to like train myself to do it. So I go here, I say left down, and I do it relatively the same way every time. Usually. Left down, that's late. If you're late, you tend to die. If you're early, you tend not to die. So if you're going to be something off, be early off. Left down. Left down. And the input is literally just left and down. You don't need to do diagonals. You don't need to do anything else. Just get here, hold left, left down. That was late. Occasionally, you'll die and you'll respawn up here and get wanded. But if you want to like take a safer path, you can take a path that's more consistent but slower. So you basically like back yourself up coming out of the ramp and then go that way. If you hit that top row, that's a swag bonk. If you hit that top row of pixels at the correct angle, you'll get through it every time. It's a little bit slower. It's probably like a half a second to a second slower. Maybe even more, I don't know. But If you're not going for like crazy times, taking the safe path might be good. If you don't think you can get the left down, like that. And you kind of like kill your momentum coming out of the pipe like that, and then just go. As long as you're on that tile, you'll be fine. If you miss that, so you're like there, that's a bad angle. If you're on the second, actually missed what I was trying to miss. If you're on the second pixel, as it were, not really pixel, but you know what I mean, the second like row of blocks, you'll hook right into the death zone. So you need to be up here, and you'll bypass it every time. When I first started out running this game, I did that. I did the slow strats. I said, get to that pixel, go down left, and you're fine. If you tend to die a lot on the ice trying to get the left down, and you want to get runs going, just take the slower path. It's not that much slower, but it's worth learning the left down. Left down. That's late. But we spawn here, so it's like, yeah, you know, it's whatever. So left down. And I would recommend practicing that to get used to the timing. That's why I say left down. Left. It's like a 0.3 or 0.4 seconds or 0.5 or whatever. I have no clue. But left down. I haven't really timed it, you know. So just go left down. Make it every time. Any questions about that part from anybody who's interested in this tutorial? I'm mostly doing it for Pronzo, but if you guys want to pick up tips too, I'm glad to help as many people as I can. Because one thing that you're going to have to do if you want to play this game is recover. Recovery is very important. Also, yes, I did not explain how the magnets work.
Water, fire, air, and dirt. Fucking magnets, how do they work? And I don't want to talk to a scientist. Y'all motherfuckers lying and getting me pissed.
See how early that was and I still survived? It's a little bit slower going that early, but you can still make it. What's up, Mike? Let me go grab a drink while you're typing out that question. Be right back. You don't suck at this game, Mike. It's a difficult game. I tend to make some of it look easy sometimes, and I apologize for that, but this is actually a pretty challenging game. If you learn the inputs, you'll be in a lot better shape. Also, this tutorial brought to you by grapefruit-flavored Aldi sparkling water to fuel my basic white bitch needs. Now that's refreshing. Alright, if there's no further questions, we'll go to the next fun spot, which is the maze. Left down. We'll save a state here. Now I'm going to pause real quick at the beginning here. So the maze, there's two ways, well I guess there's three ways to go through it, two of which I don't do. I use what's called a two bonk method. So as you come down the ramp, the first ramp here at the start, you're holding A the whole time. And then I kind of let off of A and hit left to kind of straighten myself into that channel. And then it's like holding A and hitting down for the bonk. And we'll see if we can do that. Let go, down, and I missed. You need to hit a good spot here, and you don't have a lot of room to do it, because this is how much room you have. You know, you don't have a lot of room. That sound is awful. What was that? That's terrible. That's a terrible noise. So let go, left, back here, down, bonk, bonk. Just like that. That, if I did that in a run, I'd be thrilled. That's like a perfect maze section for me. And I need to point a few things out with the maze section. One of which is the first bonk. You don't have to do it this way, but I like to, so. Left down. If you let go of down, you tend to bounce backwards. Something like, okay, left down. Your bounces get all screwed up. Holding down off of that wall is the best way to go. So you go like this, hold down, hold right. That was the 4 bonk method. It's a little bit slower than the 2 bonk method, but it's still good. As long as you get out of there cleanly, you're going to be in good shape. I've never really done the no bonk, so I'm going to just try that for the hell of it. I mean, I bonked a couple times, but even that's pretty safe. So problems you can run into here is just bonking in weird spots. If you come too fast and you like start bonking this way, you're going to be all over the place. The recovery for the maze section is to just like, not stop, but like reset yourself and be like, okay, you know, slow down a little bit and then try again to like bonk your way through. So I'll try it my way again. Try and watch my inputs. Like that. You'll notice a couple times in that maze I let go of A. And there, Yell's Drake would say never let go of A, and that's true. But there's a few spots where letting go to kind of slow your speed down and then hitting it again to kind of burst your speed forward is effective. Some turns I do that on because it's helpful. You can do it whichever way you feel more comfortable doing. Because like if I was to hold A this whole time, I think I would fuck it up. Well, actually that would have worked. If I didn't bonk over here, that would have been fine. But yeah, this corner section is really tricky. It's kind of tough to get down. And if you come out of here at a weird angle, that's what happens. Let me try that again, actually. Just not letting off of A here. Down, right. Oh, look at that. I'm a natural. I'm gonna try and fuck this up if I can. But yeah, that's the backwards bonk, like I mentioned earlier. If you let go of down going into that turn, you sometimes bonk backwards because like your momentum is weird. If we go here and we just go down and let go, it like throws everything off. So you want to hold down bonking off that wall before you switch to the next input. Then you go over here, you bonk off the wall. Oh, I missed, but let's reset that. Holding down is very important there. Doesn't matter how you get here, hold down, hold right. As if you don't, you're gonna have a bad time. It's just the way the physics work in the game. Like, if you stop holding down, you're gonna do that. Or occasionally bounce backwards. Like that. Sometimes you get a little bonky coming out of here. If that happens, let's see if I can. If that happens, like just let go of A, reset yourself, and get back on that center plane, as it were. This is a very important part to try and practice because that's just a missed angle. Like I said, you have this much room. It's not a whole lot of room. So pick either the no bonk method or the 2 bonk method, figure out what's more comfortable, and practice it. Like that. Does that make sense to everybody? Are there any questions about the maze section? While you're doing that, I'll also show that you can get to the 2-player side. Like sometimes you'll come down here and you'll just bonk really weird. and you come in here. You can actually skip to the other side. It is a giant time waste, and you'd never really want to do that, but you can if you want to fuck around. Sometimes you can actually just blow through that side. I've done that a couple times. Like that. Did that skip through in your second last stream? Nice. Yeah, it's not a very good. Oh, you just mentioned with the jumping on the island. That's a good point. I should explain how that ramp works at the bottom. So you get through this, and everything's great. You bonk, you're good. Now this ramp is tricky as fuck, because if you come out with any sort of weird speed or angle, it's guaranteed you're gonna die. So if I come down like this, obviously that's what happens. You don't want that to happen. So I actually slow down here a little bit, and you can get weird angles. Like if you're here, you're like, oh, I can just go down and right. Can you? Because you're just going to do that. You almost want to come down that ramp a little bit slow. Not like terribly slow, but... Because if you come down at a weird angle, you're dead. This is a big choke point for me. It's a big practice point, I would say. That's another, like, bad... See, if you're coming around that corner too fast and you're not Yells Rake, then you're probably going to die. So I slow down to make sure I'm lined up. Even that was bad. I try to make sure I'm lined up with the ramp before I go down it. So like that. Well, that was actually bad. I hit right too early. That guy's floating on air. I don't know what's going on. Now we have flying marble munchers, so... Does this bonk section make sense to everybody? See, I messed that up. If you mess it up, you're in a lot of trouble. Then you just reset and make sure you're doing something. Even taking that ramp slow will save you time over dying, so... If you feel the need to do that and, like, sacrifice half a second or whatever... That's a bad recovery. This can happen a lot, too. This would be terrible. So let's just go around there safe. Get down that ramp safely, and that's that. There's a lot of ways that can go wrong. I would almost say to practice the ways that it can go wrong as well, because you need to know what wrong feels like, and then don't do it. It actually helps me out a lot knowing what is wrong and then trying not to do what is wrong. Any questions before we get to the next parts? Because we ain't done yet. We got more shit to do in this level. You know what wrong feels like. Nice. Question. Did you raise your hand, Pronzo? We have to raise our hands here. It's a classroom. You raise your hand and I'll call on you. Why is Gatorade so thirst quenching? Well, let me answer that with a demonstration. I'm not thirsty anymore. It's amazing. Magic sugar water. Anyway. You are late for class, Blue Beetle. That's okay. It's going to go on your permanent record, but it's fine. Alright, so now we're going to get to the next part, which is the acids. Well, I did the backwards fuck. I did it bad. Alright. Remember what I said, know what not to do? This is what not to do. Alright. Next part is the acids. The acids in this game are on like a global timer and not just for the level that you're on. So if you get to this acid pool at the same time, you know, within a tenth of a second or whatever, you'll get the same pattern every time. And we're going to go down there and take a look. So those are all the acids. Obviously this first one's kind of, can be an asshole, but if you're in the right spot, it doesn't really matter. There's two ways to get by. You either go the long way or the short way. The long way is over here. Just avoid them entirely. You don't have to worry about it. And the short way, if you get there in time, is to go through them. You see me do this a lot, like that. You can shoot that gap as long as you get here at the right time. If you get here, like say you died earlier and you're in a weird frame rule or whatever Yelsrake would say, they may not be in the same spot. But as long as you get to this point, relatively the same every time, it will be relatively the same every time. And you kind of cut through there and it's faster. That time I just missed, but kind of want to go through that way, and you're done. And that'll be consistent as long as I got there at the same, global timer every time. Also, fun fact about these funnels, some of the pixels are lying to you. Like, I should be in this right now, but I'm not. I've actually done this before. Get to this point. Oh, that was the wrong. I'm trying to show what you can do. I've gotten to this point and I've like tried to turn in and just missed. Because the hitbox is a little bit more to the center of the funnel. It's a little deceptive and it can troll you. Oops. Any questions about the acids? It's a relatively simple thing. You don't have to do any crazy shit. Just as you practice a lot and you get to this point more consistently on the same like time, frame rule, whatever, you'll start to learn the patterns. So you'll know like, okay, I died earlier. I'm 2 seconds behind, so the acids will be, in a different position, but you'll know what that position is as you go through. And if you need to go the long way around them, it's like a second maybe. It's not a huge time loss, but if you can shoot the gap in between them, definitely go for it. Just like that. And that'll be consistent every time, as long as I do it right. Oh, thanks. Does that make sense? Mr. Pronzo and whomever else is learning? Oops. Don't die there. Alright. I swear I've played this before. Alright, now for the next fun part. This part is a run killer for me, usually. In my 259, I died twice on the carpets. So, that'll tell you how much time I could have saved if I hadn't done stupid shit. I died twice on the carpets, and I was like, fuck it, we'll let this run go. And I just obliterated the rest of the run. So, you have wiggle room if you're trying to sub 3. You don't have to be perfect. I had 3 deaths. I had a couple sloppier things. But you absolutely don't need to be perfect. But this section is very tough to do fast. So, let's see if I can do it fast. Well, oh, that was a bad save state. Alright, so go up, left, bounce off the wall, wiggle this way. Yeah. I'm gonna try and do this as fast as I can. Oh. No! So left, bounce off the wall, come around this way. This turn I always die on. Because you want to like turn right up, but you want to do it at the right time. Alright, come on with the fucking... Hang on. Alright, we're gonna save it now. That's better. Alright. So left, bounce off the wall, do that. Get in front of the first carpet. Just like that. And you can... again, watching my inputs, I pulse the A button a little bit for that same, like, boost through a turn that I like to do. So we'll come down here, bounce off the wall, let go, go, let go, go, let go, go, like that. You can see the way I pulse the A button through certain parts of the turns to kind of get more of a wavy motion. Again, Yell's Rake would say never let go of A, and for super, super top times, I agree with that. But if you just want to beat the game and get a decent time, like a sub 3, this is all you need to do. Bounce. Let go, pulse, just like that. And again, I died twice on the carpets in my PB, so... Oops. Alright, down the ramp. Up left, right, down, right. Kind of wiggle through that part. This part of the screen will kill you a lot of times. You come down here, you'll bounce off that wall. It's like no recovery. Or maybe there is, but... So bonk, down like that, hit the screen. It's a tight window. Anytime you're playing near the edge of the screen, it's a very tight window, because if you hit the screen, or the side of the screen, you are going to die. It's just how it is. See, that time I didn't pulse the A button and I missed my turn. I actually recommend learning what this does. It's like left. Like, well... You kind of get the idea. Excuse me. I always take that turn too wide. That's a good thing to try and practice, is not taking that turn too wide. Because if you if you blow through the carpet part and you like bonk off a wall, you're probably going to be too wide. I'll try and show that. Like if I come up here and I bonk off that wall, that actually worked. Never mind. Ignore what I said. I just ignore that. We'll edit that out in post. It's fine. So bonk, down, wiggle, turn, up, right. Alright, I mean, that works too. It's fine. Yeah, there's some frisky marbles. But yeah, that kind of bonk will kill you. And if you bonk like later, you tend to fall off that way. So I'll try and talk through my inputs here. It's hard to do, so watching is important. So go down here, up left, right, down, up, right, down, like that. It's a lot of like rolly kind of motions and not like quick opposite directions kind of motions. Bonk. And that's it. If I did that in a run, I'd be happy. It's a pinch slower than I'd like, but again, staying clean through that part is going to save you a lot of time. Getting through this section without dying is a good challenge. And I would recommend practicing this. Bounce. Getting in front of that first carpet is important, because obviously that saves time. If you come here a little bit slower, you get to this point, you get here, and you're like here, and you try and blow past it. You can recover from that, but it's a problem. So if you get to this point and you get a little bit slow, you'd have to wait for the first carpet and then go. It's safer, as I die. It's safer, but slower. So when you get here, you kind of have to decide, like, what do you want to do? You want to just blow through it as fast as you can, which I recommend trying to do and learning how to do, just like that. Well, as long as you catch basically this second or third tile here, you will get the respawn. What is this? Get out of here. That weird pop-up. Any questions about this part? Left, right, down, right, up, right, left. Not left, down, but, you know. And again, learning inputs is very important, because if you do the inputs right every time, it'll be the same every time. You don't have to worry about it, generally. Up, left, right, down, right, up, right, like that. Any questions before we move on? Yeah, everything I'm doing, like these specific spots I'm showing, definitely practice them. And using my inputs as like a reference guide and the way I'm talking through it, figure out what works for you. Because you might be able to hold A the whole time. You might want to pulse it more. Like, there's different ways to get through it. If you're not going for world records, you can let go of A. It's totally fine. And use the A button to like pulse through turns and stuff. It's really up to you how you want to play it.
Hey, Fry, I'm staring with my ass.
That's the best thing I ever saw.
Bleed
Thank
purple 100, bleed purple 100, bonus 20 towards my tuition, lol.
Lol. Thank you, Mike, for the 220 bits towards your tuition. There's a heart. But if that makes sense to everybody, we'll just move on to the aerial race, which has its own fun stuff. That's a common thing too. If you come down that ramp at a weird angle, it's tough to recover from. So try to do this part as consistently as you can. Don't hit the screen. Alright. You come through too fast, that can happen. Where you just get a weird angle and you just blow off the wall. You don't want to do that. Alright, no further questions. We'll move on to aerial. And the first thing I'll show you is directly off this ramp. If you hold A up and right, you finish here. Obviously your momentum would push you further, but we'll do it again, and you'll see when you don't hold A, this is kind of counterintuitive. Really? When you don't hold A, you finish here. So technically, it's a few frames that you can save. Don't hold A going down that ramp. It's kind of weird, but it's an easy couple frames. You just hold up and right. Okay, what are we... Let me see something here. This is consistent wanding. This is nice. What we know about the wands is that they're pseudo-random. So there's different things that can cause them to happen, I think. Like inputs that you're holding for one can cause it. Where you are, what the timer is, etc., can also probably cause it. We don't know the full gist of all that shit yet, but we know that it's pseudo-random. It's not 100% random. So if I load this again and I don't hit anything, I don't get wanded. If I load it and I'm holding up and right, I'm getting wanded. So the inputs are setting a flag or something. I'll hold down and right just for the hell of it. Yeah. So if I'm holding A up and right, then I don't get wanded. But just up and right gets me wanded. There's no way to predict this. Like it's wands. Treat the wands as totally random. Hey Ixie, no, we're doing a tutorial today. Just like a slow walkthrough through the game to coach people on some of the painful parts. I did PB in the long way category by like 6 seconds, which is kind of nice earlier today, but we are showing some folks how to do stuff. Alright, so technically, I mean this wand notwithstanding, if you hold up and right, you finish on the platform a little bit faster, essentially. So you're like right there. If you don't hold A, you're better off. Don't know why that works. Don't really care. Just don't hold A. The vacuums you can just go past. Doesn't matter. That's very easy section. Even if you're not, if you're doing like a no A button challenge, you can just walk past those vacuums. They won't do anything. Another interesting choke point for me is this ramp. You would think you'd want to just go and hold like down and right on this ramp, and you don't want to do that because you'll just keep dying. What you want to do ahead of time is go straight right. So you get down here, go right, just like that. The only input you need there is right. You don't need to try and angle it. If you want to get fancier, you can, but to get down this ramp, you just hold right. You can bonk off the screen and straighten out better and you're fine. So make sure you're... I did that on purpose. Make sure you're lined up properly. You want to be closer to the center of these 3 blocks. If you're up too high, you might do that. And if you're too low, you might do that. So coming down this like center-ish pixel and then going right, you won't die there. And it's okay if you bonk here. You're probably okay, because if you're coming with enough speed, you'll just kind of bonk and go this way. And that's okay. But that ramp can be tricky, and you don't want to be on a good pace, and that's another thing too, is you don't want to hold right down here. If you hold right too long, you go down that ramp and it's a weird angle and it just kills you. Oops. Alright, let me recombobulate my brain here. Alright. So we go right down and just walk right over here. That ramp can be tricky, but as long as you come in at the right angle and hit, with the right momentum, you'll be totally fine. You can either like really nail it, kind of like that, or you can screen bonk and you'll still be okay. So I just hold right. I mean, you lose it like, I'll turn better there, but you'll lose like quarter of a second, half a second doing it that way. It doesn't really matter. As long as you get through it clean, and your end result is this catapult. So the catapult is fun. Let's see if I can like force a wand here. That'd be cool. If you're on the catapult and you get a wand, it's a soft lock. And I wish I could show that off, but there's no way to force it. So basically, like the wand animation keeps you in place, and then the catapult goes like this and comes back. But once it's triggered, it can't like trigger again. So you're just on that tile until the time runs out. It's a soft lock. It's kind of fun. During one of my grind days, that actually happened twice in like a 10-minute stretch. It was really strange. But so if you're going for speed, obviously you're going to want to go down the pistons path. And the pistons path pistons a lot of people off. And this is a very tough section if you don't time things right. Let me see where I'm at first. Alright, that's a good pattern. And we'll kind of walk through that a little bit slower. So when I come off of this catapult, I'm holding down an A. Now you bounce off the wall, go there, go there, go there, go there, go there. And I'll show that again. I can't really do it slower, unfortunately. You can highlight when I highlight the VOD, you can watch it in slower speed. You can see my inputs. I actually let go of the A button, and at some point let go of the D-pad entirely between the 2 piston sections. So watch for that. Go down, wiggle in, let go, go. And if you do that right, you'll get a pretty favorable pattern, and you can just blow through the 3rd one. So down an A, left a little bit, wiggle, let go, go, let go, go. Just like that. This is a very tricky section, because if you screw something up, you're probably fucked, because you're just going to keep getting hit by the pistons, you're going to have no way to recover. So just hold A and down, wiggle left a little bit, go like that down the ramp, let go of A here, put it back. If you do it like that, it'll be consistent most of the time. You can get here on like a weird piston cycle pattern, in which case you're probably fucked, honestly. So hold down an A, wiggle left, let go of everything, go, let go of A, go. It's probably not like frame perfectly fast like Yellsrake would want to do, but again, getting through that section will save you a ton of time if you avoid getting hit by the pistons. And it seems counterintuitive to let go of everything, but once you get used to it, this is the most consistent way to do it for me. Down, wiggle left, down, right, let go, go. That was kind of like slow because I wobbled a little bit, but again, that's totally fine. Because if you get to this point and you get here and you mess something up, it's kind of tough to recover. Like, if you somehow get hit by the pistons here, a lot of people just try and push through, and you're just going to keep getting pistoned. You can sort of brute force it and eventually make it, but that's a huge time loss, and if you're going for like a sub 3 or like a sub 310, you can't really afford that much of a time loss. So doing this section as good as you can do it is very important. Because if I hold A coming into that third set of pistons, I think I will bonk, and that's also a problem, so let's try that. You can also do that. If you hit the screen here, you bounce like completely to the right, and you don't want that to happen. You can also miss this ramp a little bit. Well, I didn't do it, but you can kind of miss that ramp a little bit, and you don't want to do that either. But A down, then wiggle left, and then do that. Thanks. But let go, go. This section causes a lot of pain for a lot of people, so practice the hell out of this until it's like second nature. If I hold A through this part, that actually worked. Well, whatever, it's fine. I like to let go of A for half a second just to kind of recalibrate what I'm doing at the end of these pistons. Yeah, if you hit that wall in a bad spot, it'll kill you. These spots where you're like up against the screen wall are very, very tight. It seems like you'd have more room than you do, but you really don't. So just practice, you know, the tightness there. I came down at a weird speed, so then I hit that one. But we'll do one more good one, and then we'll get to this next section with this rampy jump. Because there's actually like a thing or two to explain there, unfortunately. Alright. Any questions about the pistons? Which I won't be able to answer because we just safe stated past them. But you'll notice that like when I was going through it, the piston pattern was the same every time, and that's how it'll be. It's another global kind of cycle, like the acids and the carpets and upcoming the hammers. So this ramp up ahead can be a problem. I'll see if I can show that off. Well, there's one problem, bonking off the screen. Normally it's just a simple jump like that, but if you come down at a weird angle, that happens. So the way I counteract that, and if I do it correctly, it works every time, is I go right and then down right. I use the right input to straighten out where I'm going on the diagonal, if that makes sense. Like right, down right. Or left, down left, sorry. Got my rights mixed up. Because if you go down first, weird shit happens. Like if I go down and then left, sometimes you miss that jump entirely, and it's very strange. But consistently, left, down left, right through the center. Should work every time. Occasionally you'll get a little slidey and it may not work, but like that it looked good, but the angle was kind of weird. So you can actually have some problems with that jump, but left, down left, should work every time. And now for everybody's favorite, the hammers. The hammers come in 3 flavors. One is this split flavor, one is this solo flavor, and one is the dual flavor, which we'll see in a second. And it just kind of repeats that process throughout. It's another one of those things, if you get here at the right time, you'll always get a favorable hammer pattern. But knowing how to deal with all 3 of them is probably important. Ideally, you want the close doubles, in my opinion. I think that's the easiest one, because you get here, and they show up like this. Well, show up like that, and you just go. It's literally, you just wait for it and go. But, sorry, say you're on a crispy pace. You get here. You can kind of wiggle up that right side. And if you do it right, you'll bypass the hammers. This is like not, well, that's actually a really good pattern. Just like that. So say you get here and you're on this pattern, try to line yourself up on this right pixel. You just blow past them. Don't die, obviously, but that's what I call the wiggle. You kind of wiggle to the right past the hammers. Trying to do it fast is hard because you kind of have to go like that, but you can do it. That, if you perfect that, will get you through probably 99% of the time. If you're not fully on the right pixel, you will get smacked around. If you're on like the split doubles, you can kind of brute force your way through like that. If you're on the singles pattern, which will let that show up, it's a bit harder, in my opinion. So just like, okay, bonk off the hammer. Okay, I died. Let me just keep going. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. That's a time waste. As long as you get past the hammers and you die, you'll respawn past the hammers, so it's not like the worst death in the world, but I would recommend trying to learn the wiggle, just like that. Don't wiggle too much, though. You can get hit and not die. Sometimes you just hit it at a good pixel and it doesn't kill you, which is nice. But yeah, if you start getting like brute forcey, like, oh, let me just push my way through, you're gonna have a bad time. So the hammers, even if you need to take a second to collect yourself and get through them, will save you way more time than trying to force through, in my opinion. Well, don't die, obviously. But yeah, like waiting and then, and then doing that. You don't want to wait forever, obviously, but like going now would have been death, and that's fine. You gotta pick and choose your spots to blow through it. Even the wiggle is not 100% effective for me, so you just gotta get up a little bit and then go. I missed, but the hammers will either cost you like 1 second or like 30 seconds. They can completely ruin your day. Like that. That's what you don't want to happen. So I usually sit here and wait a second and then find a pattern like that and then wiggle through. Taking that extra like half a second to a second to line up is going to be important. And again, practice this section. Because if you die too close to the corner but not at the corner, you got to go through it again. So I always die there. I always forget to like come here and stop, because I'll roll off like that. You don't want to do that. You want to kind of stop here. And that's a bad angle. It's fine. Trying to get my wiggle practice. Oops. This game's too hard. So yeah, I'm showing you what not to do. That was a good wiggle, and we're through. I'll do that one more time. If anybody has any questions, pop them in. That was interesting. I paused and it like didn't pause. I mean, it paused, but it didn't. Weird. Alright. Let's do that again. That's a really good pattern. If you get there like that, just go. It's like the 8-4 Bowser. If you get a good Bowser, just go through. So that's the hammer section. Take a little bit of time there if you need to. Not like 10 seconds, but like a couple like 1 or 2 seconds. Wait for a good pattern, wiggle through, and you're fine. Learning that little like wiggle to the other side of the pixels, or other, whatever you want to call it, blocks, will save your ass numerous times. And now for everybody's favorite, the silly race. This is where runs go to die, because the silly race is fucking hard. So getting up this first ramp, my inputs are going to be a little bit weird. So I'm going to go kind of adjacent to it, up left, and then I'm going to hit right. You would think up and right. Like, you'd think you want to go here and go up and right. Nope, just going to blow right past it. Also, the music plays while it's paused, so it's going to get like super fast by the end of this. It's going to be amazing. But we need to turn into that a little quicker, so we're going to go up and then right. We're going to go up, right, like that. There's two ways to get up this ramp. One is faster, that Yells Rake does, which is like just sticking to one side. I don't normally do this path, so I don't really know how to do it. I'm going to try it, though. Damn, how the hell does he do that? The moral of the story here is Yells Rake is a Jedi. I'm trying something I've never done before, so this is a bad example. But yeah, he gets to this point and goes up the left side. He basically hugs the left side the entire time. It's probably faster. I don't do it because it's a lot harder. I just do this, right up, just like that. It's probably slightly slower that way, but we do it anyway. Hey ZK, thanks for the good luck. We were doing Marble Madness tutorials for various difficult sections of the game, and I'm trying to show inputs and like talk through it. Yells Rake has amazing tutorials as well, but he's a Jedi, so if you just want a sub 3 or like a good low 3, following these tips is all you really need to do. It depends on how far you want to take it. Also need to do things real quick. 1 second. Oh. I was going to add Pronzo as a VIP, and then I'm out of VIP slots. So that's bad. How's your day going, ZK? I call this the skee ball ramp, because you can kind of like... Whoops, that's a skee ball. You know, the little holes where you got to go up the ramp and shit. Just woke up. Well, I hope you're having some coffee. So yeah, I take... Again, watch the inputs here. We go up, right, and then straighten out, and then left, and then like that. You can also kind of pulse your way through this part. Like hitting A right before you turn like that. I would recommend you go up to the left here and you go up and then right. If you go up right, you're going to go too far. You got to get the up input a little bit sooner and then go right. And then that should be relatively consistent if you keep doing it the right way. I let go of A there and there. I let go of A here. We'll get to that in a second. Well, we'll get to that in a second too. But we're gonna get up to the top here and make another save state. So just go up, right, left. And when you're making the turns up this ramp, use the cardinal directions. Because if you get to this point and you go up left, you're not even gonna come close. But if you come up here and you're like, alright, I gotta go left, well, try that again. Gotta go left. Oh shit, things are happening. That was the sub hype sound. So we got some new subs. Thank you, Mike, for the gift subs to ZK and Sparko. You get a giant heart. ZK and Sparko now have access to my favorite emote, the Reset Kitty. And Hype, obviously, is good too. But the Reset Kitty is everybody's favorite kitty. Except for ZK's Dabby Cat. But thank you for those gift subs. Thank you guys for being here, ZK and Sparko. Appreciate all of you. And obviously Mike too for the gifts. You're the man, Mike. Alright, let's music plays in the background, it keeps getting faster, so if you pause for like 5 minutes, the thing just goes ham. Alright, so go up, right, left, up, like that. Learning how to do that will save you a ton of headaches, because this ramp is actually a slowdown point for a lot of people, because you die a lot. Up, right, let go. So I let go of A up at the top right part. Again, that's me like pulsing through certain turns. That I had a weird angle going there because I didn't turn up fast enough. There's another spot coming up where I let go of A. We're going to do this ramp one more time, then I'll park a safe state by the little dudes. Or no, I won't actually, because I want to show something. So we're going to get up here, and there's that ramp to get up to the next little section where the upside down funnel is. And we're going to do that part next. So we're going to come up here. We're going to let go of A once we hit the ramp and just turn in. Because if you, let's get up there with some speed. Oh, whatever. If you're like, alright, I got a really good speed going, and you go up here, you're probably going to do that. There's ways around that, like you can kind of, oh, I didn't grab it. You can kind of get up there regardless, but you're probably going to hit that wall and just fly back down. So I recommend, when you get up here, let go of A and then pulse it again to get yourself going back up to the left. Really? I recovered. Nice. So we're going to let go up that ramp and just go that way. And that's everybody's favorite section right there. We're going to get to that in a second here. Any questions for this beginning part of Silly Race? You can also, if you're feeling particularly frisky, I think this is a bad thing to do, but you can also do this. Well, as I blow it. You can stay up on the top there and take the long way to the next one. And you can go this way. That does work. It's slower. I don't recommend it. I would recommend hitting that small ramp and letting go of A. Like that. I'm going to show that part a little bit slower, don't worry. But the basic gist of that part is up, right, down, right. So we're going to park a save at the funnel so you guys can see that. You can also bonk off the side of that, like I just did, like that. You don't want to do that, obviously. So this next part is everybody's favorite part because everybody dies here. I die here, Yellsrake dies here, everybody dies here. Yellsrake calls this next part the hardest part in the game, and I am inclined to agree. It is not a fun part. So when you come out of the horn or whatever that's going to be, you want to start going up and left, and then you go up, right, down, right. So up and left, up, right, up. Well, you got to get the timing right, but it's worth practicing this too. Go up, right, up, right. No, I wiggled too far. Don't hit the side of the screen, but do that. Because a lot of people come up here and they're like, all right, let's just go. And you bonk off the screen, you're going to die. Every time. So you're going to start turning upward as fast as you can with still being on the track, obviously. So like here. Practice the shit out of this. Because if you hit this part in a run, you're probably going to PB. Because if you haven't practiced it and you haven't done a PB where you don't die here, it's going to save you a ton of time. Up. That was actually too soon. It's a tight window. That's the screen bonk. I pulse A through that part. You don't have to, you can hold A the whole time if you want, but I pulse A. Go up, right, up, right. Oh, that was close. Also, if you die and you get stuck here, hold right. And then go down. Like that. Because if you just let it roll off, that's going to happen. If you try and force against it, That's going to happen, so you want to go right. Right and then down a little bit. Otherwise, you know, you're going to get stuck here for a bit trying to like figure out what to do. Down is bad, right is good. And yeah. Again, looking at the inputs for that section, it's not as complicated as you think it is. I'm not trying to say that to be like an asshole. It's like the inputs that you need to get through there are easier than you would think that you need, because it's like all kinds of weird wavy shit with ramps and stuff. Not that bad. Up, right, well, let's pretend I'm actually doing it correctly. Up, right, like that. Yeah, practice just getting in here. Like, get in here, and get past that screen bonk. Because that screen bonk is going to get you every time. Or not every time, but I hit it too a whole bunch of times. Turn up. Just like that. Up, right, down. And obviously control your speed coming out of there too, because you can, if you're just blowing through it, you go like that. Not a terrible death to take, but it's one that's entirely avoidable. As long as you watch your speed coming out of that section, you'll be okay. Up, right, down. Throw some A pulses in there, and you'll be good. This screen is a run killer, so being able to do that consistently every time, or relatively consistently, if you're a hair slow, it's not a big deal. A hair slow is better than dying in every instance. You come up here, and that's that. Any questions about that really, really shitty section? I guess I could show like a recovery point. That's not the load state button. Dying is not the load state button. So let's say we get up here and we're like, ah, fuck, we blew it. Sometimes you spawn here and you just do the same thing again, but correctly, like that. I'm trying to show the one where you get stuck in the first part here. Like, it's like I can't do this silly death. Alright, so let's say we die here and you're stuck in here. Just kind of push up slowly, because if you try and like boost up out of there, you'll probably fly off. I gotta look at that actually. Yeah, if you do that and you just boost up, you have some trouble. Or just push out of there slow and then recover and do that. It seems counterintuitive at the end to go right, but again, it's the way the physics in this game work. So we go up, right, well, up, right. That's what I mean by it's not as complicated as it looks. Like, it's fewer inputs than you think you need. So we're here again, push through, do the rest of it the same way. Knowing when to change to the next input direction is all you need to do on that for practice. Because if you do it right, it'll be consistent every time. Now we're going to get to the bird section. So we're going to get up here real quick. That was ugly. Alright, we're going to park a safe state here, because this part sucks. Come around here. Oops, screen bonk, you're dead. Alright, let me try here. Nope, screen bonk. Okay. This is how much room you have to get past this. There's the screen. There's the death. That's not a lot of room. So even if you need to kind of wiggle around that part slowly, again, it's better than taking the death. So we're like, okay, slow down, and then boost back forward. You can die down there too. This is another spot that I would say definitely practice. I know some people like to go this way, but it's actually slower. Maybe it's not, I don't know. It seems slower. But everybody goes this way. So you kind of want to be turning up before you get to the screen pixels, because you're just going to bounce right off it and die. So we're going to go up, and then left, and then down. Straighten yourself out. Bonk off that wall. That death isn't bad. But we're we're gonna try and avoid it. Bonking off this wall keeps your momentum going, like that. We're gonna sit here for a second because the birds are on like a timer, like everything else. Touching any part of the bird kills you, which is bad, obviously. If you want, when you get to this part, you can take this death and it kind of warps you here. And here's not a bad spot to be. You just do this. So sometimes I might intentionally take that death, depending on where the birds are at. I might just come up here and be like, well, fuck it, let's just die here and then go. Go like that. And I'll show off the silly skip in a minute. We'll talk through that one too. But one thing, the fastest way would be to hit this wall and not die. That would be the fastest way through that section. I don't think I've ever successfully hit that wall bonk in a run, so it will save you time if you can do it. If not, you can take the death, or you can just not take the death and just try and go a little bit slower through here. Like turn here, slow down, kind of boost through. If that makes sense. I think that makes sense. There's that screen bonk. You absolutely do not want to do that. You don't want to do that either. So we're going to get up to the silly skip part, which is going to be fun. Alright, we're actually going to park a safe state right there. Trying to see. I don't think my cursor is going to work. Did I shut that off? Let me look at that for a second. Alright, well, I was going to like point to it on the thing with the cursor, but that's not going to work. This is a pixel perfect trick called the silly skip. You get to this point, you hold left, because if you're holding left up this ramp, you won't go anywhere. If you let go, you will, because this is technically a down ramp. So there's one pixel up ahead, like that. You can actually skip off of that section and not have to do that whole little loop-de-loop at the top. It's really the only skip in the game, and it's pixel perfect, and if you don't nail it first try, you might as well just abandon it. That's too high, and at this point I can't get it, because you're already too high up the ramp. This is like 1 or 2 pixels too high. Sometimes you'll bonk back out. That's still too high. You want to hit like right where the curve line is. There's like a certain pixel, the first curve line up here. That was way too far. Try and do it again, we can see where that's at. So yeah, if you're going to go for the skip, the faster you do it, the better. But you can kind of line yourself up by moving up a little bit. It should be right there, yeah. It's this like first little curvy bit. Oops. You don't have to do this by any stretch. That's 1 pixel too low for reference. So if I let go and just go, it does that. This is something you can practice. You don't need to do it. I didn't do it in my 259 run. I just, you know, I probably went for it and missed, and I was like, fuck it, let's just go up here. You can bonk around a lot up there. It's not fun. You don't want to do that. But I'll try to skip one more time. One more pixel up. And there you go. If you're going for safety and you don't want to try that, because if you try that and don't get it, you're wasting time. It's not that much longer to go around. Just want to kind of like zoom past it. Get down this ramp as fast as you can. Do that. There's a trick to that end section that I'm going to explain real quick. It's not like a trick, but it's an input thing. So come up here, we blow through this. Get here however you get here. Watch the inputs. Up, right. So that ramp is, or not ramp, that stretch of land is very tricky because you'd think you want to go up and right. And I'll show that in a minute. You'd think you want to just come up here and be like, okay, up right. Nope, you're gonna blow past it. At some point around here, you kind of want to, well, don't hit the screen, but at some point around here, you want to be going up, hit that, and go right. So knowing, like, when to use the diagonals and when to use the cardinal directions is very important in this game. It's all about manipulating the marble's momentum. So we're gonna go up, right. Well, that was too soon. That was too soon, I'm a dum-dum. So again, here we go up, right. 80% of the time, it works every time. So... up, right. Just like that. That's too high. I'm gonna try for the silly skip, like a quicker one. That's too high. Because if you do it in like 1 or 2 bounces, it's a good time save, but it's very tough to line this up. Yellsrake has a way he does it, I don't really get it. There, that's pretty good. Up, right. Any questions about the end of Silly Race? Otherwise, we're going to go on to Ultimate, which is fun. Fun. Cool. Alright, let's move on. Alright, fun hype. That's right, we're having fun here. It's fun not playing this game. Like, obviously I'm playing it, but you know what I mean. I'm not running it right now. So the Ultimate Race is fun. There's 2 ways to get by this ramp. One way is slower. Come here, line yourself up, and just go down and right. That's a little bit slower, because you have to, like, take your time to get down there and line up. Like this, then go. It's okay in the beginning to do it that way, but eventually you'll want to do this. Because that's way faster. You want to hit the early part of the ramp by holding down, and then down, well, that was wrong. But you want to hold down at a certain point, and then down and right. So go down left, down right. Well, I was late on that, that's my fault, but down left, down right. Just like that. Well, ideally you bounce right in, but that's... The down right turn is a little bit trickier than it looks sometimes. I use right to turn into it, so I kind of go right, down right. You can watch the inputs. So go down, right. That was too soon. Practicing this is going to be good too, because you can save yourself like a 1.5 seconds or something by doing it the faster way. Just like that. So, we're going to go through this part a little bit slowly. I'll just leave the save state up. So when you come out of here, you can boost around this turn, but you don't want to be boosting anymore at this point. And I'll try and show you why. I think Yellsrake does it because again, Jedi, but you can just do that. But if you come into this bumpy part too fast, it tends to be weird. So that's why I slow down a little bit to get into that bumpy part with a better speed. Because the down ramp there is kind of shitty. So I like wiggle here and then go. Go down here, down this ramp. Obviously we'll slow down each part of that, but essentially what I did there is what you want to do. This little, I'll get to the bumpy ramp, I'll explain that in a second. Turn, go, bumpity bumps. Alright. This ramp sucks. If you go down the ramp, you die. You're like up here and you're like, okay, now I'm gonna go down the ramp, you die. This disco floor is icy, but it's not like the other ice. The ice patch that's on the screen right there is the one where you just keep rolling at the same speed and you can't move. The disco floor is more traditional ice physics. So you slip and slide a little bit. And of course they throw this at you in the final stage with no warning, right? So, I'm not moving. And you can see the marble's still moving because it's like ice physics. So it's a very interesting mechanic. And also, like, your inputs get a little weird here, because again, ice physics, so it's going to turn kind of weird. Luckily, this is the only part in the game that has this. That's how easy it is to die on this ramp, by the way. It's very, very easy. So you want to come down here and go left. Well, you want to hit the ramp and go left, essentially. So down here, left. Not that far left. Like that. Again, try and watch the inputs on this one. Let's see if I can do a good one. And watching the inputs should help, hopefully. Well, again, it's very easy to die on that ramp. You really need to hit it clean. So, if you get hit by that acid, it's not the end of the world. If you fall off the next part, it's not the end of the world, and I'll show you why. Come down here. Oh, we got hit by the acid? That's fine, we just roll past. No big deal. Well, don't die there, obviously, but... If you die on the disco floor later on over here, like you missed that turn, it kind of lines you up. So just go down left and then time it right and go down. Because this ice part is a bitch. Because, oops, you're too late. Nothing you can do. Because, again, this is the ice where you can't move. So if you come up here and you're a little late, you'll bonk off one of those and you'll be fucked. If you get down to that point and you're too... that was bad. If you're too early... Oh, this is sloppy. You'll do that and you'll still be fucked. This is a very tight window. It's more dependent on where you are than how fast you do it, in my opinion. If I avoid everything and I get here at the right angle, you just blow through it. If you get down there at the wrong angle, you don't. Because that's late. If you're on a really, really good pace up to this point and you don't want to choke it, slow it down. Get to this point, like, okay, here we go. Slow down, go. Well, not that slow, but take that turn cautiously if you're on like a really good pace and you don't want to blow it. If you want to go ham, fucking go ham, but that's a big, big choke point. That was late. Because if you die there, it's a big time loss. That was actually too late. But yeah, I was going to say, like, other stages have certain sections you want to practice. I would practice this entire stage. Like, start a save state from the beginning of this stage and then go through it, see your choke points, work on them. I don't know if you saw what my inputs did there. It may not have made sense. Let me try that again. Well, try and do it the same way. So I'm kind of going down. Well, I want to do it the fast way without hitting the acid. I did it pretty cool, and you can watch the inputs on it. I want to do it again. Go like this, get around, left. That was holding left the entire time there, and you saw what it did. So you don't want to go like down or down left because of the disco floor. You want to go left. Just get here, left. Well, that's too soon, but you get the idea. Left, down. That's too soon. But you get the general idea. And this Steely generally will leave you alone. You can even clip through him sometimes, but I wouldn't even worry about him. Just get here, left, down, get across, just like that. He can't hurt you here. Now this section it's like a global timer again. It's going to be the same every time. Let me load it from, I'll get to the Steely platform and we'll go from there. Alright, so from here, this might be a bad save state, but thanks. You don't need to hold the A button at all through this part if you do it quick enough. It's kind of counterintuitive, but hey, dude 64, welcome in. We're doing Marble Madness tutorials. Yeah, you just get by him, he's pretty simple. If you stay ahead of the pattern like this, you can kind of boost down. But you can do this entire section without hitting A, and I actually recommend that. And when you get to here, down, not left. I'll be highlighting this out as Pronzo recommended a while back, so you guys can reference it if you need to. So, don't do that, obviously. You don't want to rush this part, because you can do that. You're like, oh, I can make it. No, you can't make it. You're wasting time. Now you gotta wait. Each of these little, like, there's one here, one on the bottom, one on the right. They're all checkpoints. So if I die here, which you don't want to do, you'll be here. You get here and you die over here. That's a checkpoint. Oops. It's a bad checkpoint, but it's a checkpoint. Whoops. So now we're back here. And notice it shoots you to the right of the ramp. So if I go up right, I'm dead, because there's nothing to hit, which is kind of a shitty checkpoint. So if this happens, you have to go up. That's what I mean by don't go left, because that's exactly what'll happen. You'll just blow past it on the left side. So you get up here. Once the spawns go down, easy peasy, you'll get through it every time. It seems counterintuitive. You're like, oh, the flag is to the left, let me go left. Don't. The flag is down. Go down. Fuck you, Steely. That's right. Bitch. Alright. So we'll just do this one more time. If you need to stop here for a second, stop here and wait for the next cycle. It's better that way, so you don't have to rush it. I'm actually glad I died there, because this section, this screen bonk will kill you very quickly. If you're like, oh, I want to go this way. No, you don't. You want to stay on, like, the axis that it's on right now, and just slowly walk up. And you can kind of notice my inputs on the final part. I let go once I'm on the ramp, essentially. I'll try and show that again. Oops. Fucking steely bitch. So we're gonna go around. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. You don't have to panic, you do have some time. So from here, we just walk up, left, let go. Just kind of pulse your way through. Down and left. Very easy. Not another Esper, thank you for the raid. You actually came at a bad time, because once I wrap this up, I'm going to have lunch and probably be done for the day. But thank you for coming in, thanks for the raid, I appreciate it. We're doing Marble Madness tutorials, and I'm going to highlight this out afterwards, so if anybody wants to learn how to beat this game and or do it pretty quickly. There's always a raid train, that is true. Rush F the Hunter is here. Well, I'm glad you're here. Hope you're having a lovely words. Hope you're having a lovely Friday, Esper and everybody from Esper's raid. We're gonna go through this section one more time. So from this point, you should be fine. You don't have to rush. Well, probably should have rushed there actually, but as long as you stay ahead of the cycle, you're totally fine. And then down. If you're on a good pace and you think you're going to choke it, or you don't think you can go fast enough through this part, wait for the second cycle here, line up, and then go. You'll have way more time to do that before the platforms disappear. Don't hit left. So, if you get a good global timer, when you get to this point, the next platform spawns immediately. And I'm going to show you, you can do two things at this point. If you are feeling frisky, you can boost through the left wall, or not through the left wall, but through the left platform. So show that off. Kind of do that, get onto this. That way you don't have to wait for the other cycle. And my inputs on that little tram section are very weird because I'm not doing any, so. You're like, oh shit, I'm on pace here, let's do this. Boost down. That's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to hit the wall and you're going to die. Big choke point is that wall. So it's usually better to like take a second, line yourself up, and then go. Oops. Practice this entire section like I'm doing right now, because you don't want to get to this point and then choke like a sub 3 or a really good PB. To figure out what works best for you, wait if you need to. The extra second or two, it's better than dying. So. I was at a weird spot on that ramp. I don't think I've ever been there like that before. But there you go. So that's essentially a walkthrough of Marble Madness with save states and like showing inputs and stuff. Any questions, Franzo? Anything else you want to see? Anything you want me to go over again? Obviously we'll have the VOD, you can refer to that later too, but